Chosen one, the world just felt your presence and it shook the very ground they walk on. Your past identity has resurfaced, and now the internet can't stop talking. But here's the truth: they're not ready for the weight of your story. They're not ready for the power of who you really are. They see your light and it terrifies them because deep down they know you're not ordinary. You've always been marked for something greater. And no matter how much they try to bury it, the truth about you refuses to stay hidden. We're never meant to fit in. From the very beginning, you walked a path most people couldn't understand. While others drowned in illusions, you questioned everything. You looked beyond the mask of this world, and in doing so, you awakened. And when a soul awakens, it disturbs the systems that thrive on silence. Society isn't threatened by those who follow, but it fears those who rise. You rose, and that's why they try to suppress you. Being chosen isn't about being perfect, it's about being set apart. You've endured storms that should have destroyed you, betrayals that should have broken you, pain that should have silenced you forever, but instead you transformed. Every scar became sacred, every wound became wisdom, every shadow became light. That's why they can't handle you, because your very existence exposes their lies. The signs were always there: the feeling of being different, the loneliness that made no sense, the visions in your dreams, the voice inside that told you you're not like the rest. You thought it was a burden, but it was the mark of the chosen. You weren't being punished, you were being prepared. The universe was molding you into someone the world could not ignore. And now here you are. When people see your light, they have two choices: to rise with you or to resist you. Most resist. They gossip, they attack, they doubt. But what they don't realize is that every attempt to bury you only pushes you deeper into your divine calling. You are proof that no force of darkness can erase what God has written. And that's why the truth about your past, your trials, your struggles, your transformation, feels so unbearable to them. It reminds them of everything they've been too afraid to face. You are the walking evidence that awakening is real, that destiny is unstoppable, that no matter where you came from, your story can shake the world. And yes, it has shaken the internet too, because truth always leaves ripples. It cannot be ignored. You were chosen to disturb the false comfort of this world, to awaken the sleeping, and to shine where others chose to hide. So now the question is, will you keep shrinking to make others comfortable, or will you step into the fullness of who you are? Will you keep apologizing for your light, or will you burn so bright that no shadow can remain around you? The time has come. The world is waiting. And whether they can handle it or not, the truth of who you are can no longer be silenced. If this message resonates with your spirit, stand boldly in your awakening. Let this be your reminder that you are seen, you are chosen, and your destiny cannot be denied. Keep walking in your light. And if you feel this truth stirring inside you, make sure to like this video, share your story in the comments, and subscribe to Ascended Awakening, because your journey is only just beginning. You felt the tremor before they called it a scandal. A memory slipped through the noise and surfaced like a lighthouse in a storm. People pointed, they whispered, they tried to label what they could not understand. Their labels were flimsy. Your soul held the weight of a truth they could not name. There is a quiet language in the bones of the awakened, a rhythm that does not match the world's tempo. You knew things without being taught. You recognized faces you never met. You carried a grief that was not entirely yours. These were not accidents, they were signatures. When your past identity reappears, it is not to shame you. It is a summons. It calls you back to the parts you abandoned to survive, the parts you hid under shame or convenience. Reclaiming them is not nostalgia, it is reclamation. It is the alchemy of pain into purpose. They will call your remembering reckless. They will call your clarity dangerous. Their fear of the unfamiliar becomes a campaign of confusion. But remember, smoke and mirrors only work for people who already agreed to be fooled. You never agreed. You learned early how to make yourself small. You learned the politeness of disappearing. You learned to smooth your edges so others would not bruise. That survival created a shell, and the shell kept you safe but also muffled your voice. Awakening cracks that shell. The sound is loud because truth makes noise. Some of you have been cataloged as rebels, prophets, troublemakers, or worse. Each label is a net designed to slow your movement, but every label also reveals what the labeler fears. If they name you a threat, it is because you threaten their illusion. If they call you crazy, it is because your clarity exposes their compromises. Signs of being chosen are not always spectacular. Sometimes they are quiet, a relentless pull towards solitude, an intolerance for shallow comforts, an urge to speak when others stay silent. Sometimes they are loud visions, visceral knowing, doors that open without explanation. All of them point to one thing: you are in motion toward your real self. A chosen life is often lonely at first. The world celebrates conformity, it punishes those who break the pattern. Friends fall away, families misunderstand, jobs feel misaligned. But solitude sharpens the soul. It is the workshop where your gifts are forged, away from applause, in the disciplined hush of inner work. There will be tests, not to prove you wrong but to prove you willing. Temptations that offer safety in exchange for silence. Betrayals that mirror your old wounds. Moments where you will question whether light is worth the cost. These are initiation rites, not punishments. They strip what is not yours so the essence can breathe. When your story circulates online, it becomes a mirror held up to a collective. People project onto you what they refuse to own in themselves. Their fury is a confession. Their envy is an admission. Their dismissal is a plea. You are a flashpoint because your life insists on a higher possibility. Do not mistake attention for truth-telling. Some comments will be earnest, searching for a key. Others will be performative outrage. Learn to read between the noise. Listen for the ones who arrive with soft questions. They are the quiet allies. Tend to them, they will be your village. Past identity is not a weight to be hidden. It is a lantern. When you reveal your missteps and mercies, you illuminate paths for those still wandering. Your vulnerability becomes a map. The internet cannot handle that because real vulnerability disarms the currency of pretense. There is a difference between exposure and disclosure. Exposure wounds you to satisfy curiosity. Disclosure chooses timing and purpose. Choose disclosure. Tell your truth when it serves the calling, not to ignite gossip but to seed courage. Let your story be medicine, not spectacle. You will be offered easy explanations: charisma, attention-seeking, manipulation. These are shallow lenses. The deep lens sees lineage, initiation, energetic inheritance. It sees that some souls carry ancestral contracts and cosmic permissions that make their path noisier. Understanding this frees you from defending every rumor. Awakening asks for discipline. It asks for daily practices that anchor you in clarity. Breath, ritual, writing, silence, service, these are not religiosity, they are calibrations. The more you practice, the less the noise can unbalance you. The more you practice, the lighter your past becomes because it has been integrated, not ignored. Grief is a classroom. Many chosen ones carry a grief that is catalytic. It breaks them open, and through that break, light enters. Do not be ashamed of what you have lost. Let the losses teach you about what matters. Let them refine your compass so you move with intention rather than reaction. Power will come, not necessarily fame. Often power is an inner sovereignty that refuses to be dictated to. It is the quiet insistence on alignment. It is the ability to say no to what steals your energy. When you cultivate that power, the world notices, sometimes with love, sometimes with hostility. Forgiveness is a tool, not a concession. Forgive those who tried to silence you, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve freedom. Forgiveness unchains your future from the past. It does not erase what happened. It repositions it within a larger story of growth. There will be allies you could not have predicted. People you met in passing will become lifelines. Remember to honor them. Gratitude expands your field. It attracts co-creators who will help you build what your past prepared you for. You are not alone in your rising, though at times it will feel that way. Across time and borders, there are others reading the same signs, hearing the same call. When your past shakes the internet, it creates meeting points. Souls find one another in comment sections, in private messages, in small gatherings. Community births movement. Stand in your testimony with courage. Speak your truth plainly without theatrics. People are hungry for authenticity, not spectacle. Your steady voice will outlast the viral flash. Consistency is a kind of prophecy. It proves you were not a momentary distraction but a sustained force. As your story spreads, steward it. Protect your energy. Set boundaries around how much you explain and to whom. Not every question deserves an answer. Not every accusation needs a defense. Your time and attention are the currency. Spend them where they build. Keep tending your inner life. Teach what you have earned. Let your lessons be practical and radical. Honesty in relationships, rituals that honor transition, disciplined creativity, service that meets real need. These are the scaffolding for real change, not just noise. When the world tries to pin you down, remember who taught you to rise. The quiet voice that told you to keep going when it would have been easier to stop. Lean into that teacher. She walks with you through the hard nights and into the mornings where truth becomes visible. Hold this, your past identity shook the internet not to humble you but to wake others. Your life has breathing space for many. Some will stay frightened. Some will stay for a season. Some will become the core of the work you were born to do. Trust the sorting. You will be tempted to explain every piece of your journey. Resist that compulsion. Let your life be the explanation. Actions calibrated by integrity are louder than any argument. Live in a way that makes defense unnecessary. There is a sacred economy of reciprocity. As you give your truth, the universe returns allies, opportunities, and doors that align with your calling. Pay attention to the small confirmations. A message that arrives at exactly the right time, a stranger who offers help, an idea that falls into your lap. These are the universe's receipts. Keep a journal of truth. Write what you would never say aloud. Revisit these pages when doubt crowds in. You will find continuity there, proof that your movement is not random but patterned, shaped by intention and unseen guidance. Do not let the noise make you forget joy. Chosen work is not only heavy, it is also glorious. There will be laughter, profound delights, sudden alignments, moments of effortless flow. Celebrate them. Let joy be the counterbalance to the struggle. Trust the slow reveal. Your influence may not be immediate. The internet erupts, then it forgets. But seeds planted in hearts take time to grow. Keep sowing with patience. Your harvest will be disproportionate to what you imagine. You will be called to lead, but leadership looks different when born of awakening. It is gentleness with authority. It is service with a firm spine. It is vision coupled with listening. Practice these muscles. They will carry you farther than any viral moment ever could. You have walked through seasons where your silence was survival, but now silence feels like suffocation. The truth inside you is louder than the fear outside of you. That is why the world feels unsettled by your presence, because your voice carries weight it did not carry before. The digital age magnifies everything. A whisper becomes an echo. A story becomes a storm. When your past surfaces online, it is not just gossip, it is prophecy disguised as scandal. The internet becomes a stage for spiritual revelation, even if most people only see drama. Understand this. Chosen ones are often misunderstood first, celebrated later. History shows us that truth-tellers are ridiculed before they are honored. The same people who question your sanity today will quote your wisdom tomorrow. Your only task is endurance. Do not break under the noise. You are not defined by who you were yesterday. You are defined by who you refuse to stop becoming. Your past is not a prison, it is a portal. Each failure taught resilience. Each betrayal taught discernment. Each loss carved space for deeper love. What the world sees as weakness was the training ground for your power. There are forces that thrive when chosen ones stay asleep. Entire systems depend on conformity, on silence, on distraction. When you awaken, you interrupt the cycle. You remind others they are more than consumers, more than labels, more than the roles assigned to them. That is why they resist you. You are dangerous to the false order. Notice how your story triggers different reactions. Some recoil in judgment. Some lean in with curiosity. Others feel a stirring they cannot explain. That stirring is recognition. It is their soul remembering what they too have buried. You are not just living your truth, you are activating theirs. Chosen ones carry an aura of disruption, not because they seek chaos, but because they carry alignment. And alignment exposes misalignment. People who refuse to face themselves will find your presence unbearable. They will call you arrogant, intense, or extreme. But what they really mean is, your light shows me where I am still hiding. Do not waste your energy convincing them. Convincing drains you. Radiating fuels you. Keep radiating, keep walking, keep speaking. The ones meant to hear you will hear you, no matter how loud the opposition grows. Spirit has a way of piercing through noise and finding its own. Some of you wonder why the pain had to be so sharp, why the exile had to be so long, why the losses had to be so deep. The answer is this: fragile foundations cannot carry divine weight. The fire stripped away what could not hold you so that what remained was unbreakable. You are not fragile anymore. There is a mystery to your calling. You will not always understand why you were chosen. The why will not always make sense, but the evidence is undeniable. Every detour led you here. Every closed door redirected your steps. Every disappointment recalibrated your path. This orchestration is not coincidence, it is covenant. Some of you feel unworthy. You replay mistakes and wonder how someone like you could be chosen. Hear this: being chosen is not about flawlessness. It is about willingness. God does not call the perfect. God calls the prepared. And preparation often looks like surviving storms you never thought you escape. Your awakening will never be comfortable for those still asleep. They will tug at your sleeves, asking you to return to old patterns. They will accuse you of changing, and you must answer with courage. Yes, I have changed. That was the point. Growth is betrayal to stagnation. When the internet erupts around your name, it is a test of posture. Will you shrink back into hiding, or will you stand, rooted in who you've become, unmoved by opinion? Viral moments fade. Integrity does not. Choose integrity. It will carry you longer than attention ever could. You are a mirror and a messenger. You reflect to others what they cannot yet face, and you deliver messages they did not know they needed. Some will hate you for it. Others will thank you. Both are signs that your purpose is alive. And here is the secret: your story is not just about you. It is about every soul watching, wondering if their own scars can heal, if their own past can transform, if their own calling is real. You are proof that it can. Proof that destiny wastes nothing. Proof that even the darkest chapter can become a holy script. You have noticed how doors close when you start walking in truth. Invitations vanish. People grow distant. Opportunities that once seemed secure dissolve without warning. This is not punishment. This is pruning. The universe removes what cannot walk with you so that your path remains clear. Every chosen one carries an exile season, a time when nothing makes sense, when the old world has ended but the new world has not yet begun. It feels like suspension, like being between breaths. Yet in that space, your roots grow deeper. You learn patience. You learn faith. You learn to stand even when no one is clapping. When your past identity is exposed, remember that exposure is also revelation. The things hidden in shadow must surface to be healed. This surfacing may embarrass you, but it also frees you. Once truth is out, there is nothing left to fear. Lies lose power when light touches them. The world thrives on polished images. Chosen ones thrive on authenticity. You were not sent to impress, you were sent to awaken. And awakening rarely looks glamorous. It looks raw. It looks messy. It looks like someone who refuses to pretend anymore. That rawness is magnetic because it is real. Do not mistake the attacks against you as personal. They are spiritual. Darkness always resists light, but resistance is also confirmation. If you were insignificant, you would be ignored. The fact that you stir so much conflict proves that your presence matters. You carry something the world cannot ignore. Think back to the dreams you've had, the ones so vivid they felt more real than waking life. Those were not random. They were blueprints. They were memories of what your soul agreed to before entering this world. Each dream was a reminder that you came here with purpose, even if the world tried to bury it. There are moments when you will feel weary, when the weight of misunderstanding becomes heavy. In those moments, remember, even prophets grew tired, even visionaries longed for rest. Weariness is not weakness, it is evidence of effort. Rest, then rise again. Your journey was never meant to be sprinted, it was meant to be endured. Notice how patterns repeat in your life. The same type of betrayal, the same type of test, the same type of silence. These cycles are not coincidences, they are initiations. Once you pass the lesson, the cycle breaks. You are not cursed, you are being refined until you master the teaching. People who cannot handle your past will try to freeze you in it. They will define you by who you were instead of who you are becoming. Let them. Their vision is small. Do not shrink yourself to fit their memory. The one who began your story is not the same one who will finish it. The chosen path is not about popularity. It is about legacy. It is about planting seeds that outlive you. It is about shaping lives you may never meet. The internet may shout today, but decades from now, what will remain are the lives you touched, the truths you spoke, the courage you embodied. Past identity shook the internet because deep down, people recognize courage when they see it. They recognize resilience. They recognize transformation. And what they recognize in you becomes a mirror of what lies dormant in them. You are proof that transformation is possible. And here is the paradox. The very things they mock you for now will one day be the reasons they seek you out. The ridicule becomes reverence. The resistance becomes remembrance. The stone they rejected becomes the cornerstone. History has always worked this way, and you are writing history now. If this message stirred something deep within your spirit, don't let it pass you by. Claim your calling. Declare in the comments, "I am chosen and I rise." Let your voice join the chorus of awakened souls standing in their truth. Hit that like button if you know your light cannot be silenced. Share this video with someone who needs to remember their power. And make sure you subscribe to Ascended Awakening, because every message here is designed to unlock the next level of your destiny. This is not entertainment. This is your awakening. Step into it now.